Yo, yo, yo. What's good with it? What's good with it? How's my audio coming through, man? I'm getting feedback on my side. I gotta fix that real quick. My brother Tupac 13 in the building. Salute to you. My brother Just Do in the building. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, let me know how the audio sounds. But first off, let me drop a flame for my brother Do. Yeah, let me know how the audio sounds, man. I'm getting some feedback on my end, so I want to make sure I get that fixed real quick. I'm trying to have y'all hear me two, three times, anything like that. Uh, yeah, let me know how that sound is for y'all, man. 'Cause I'm getting feedback on my end, so I want to make sure this is all clear. All right, how about let's do this. Yeah, it's good. All right, Tupac 13 says it's good on his end. Okay, I'm just trying to switch it up on my end so I can start getting feedback because I don't know why the world I'm getting feedback on my. Okay, there we go. There we go. Got it fixed now. I think we might be good. We might be good, man. Yeah, man. We're gonna cook on this here joint, man. Just wanted to hop in quick, get some on the books, man. Talk about this NBA All Star game. You know what I'm saying? Get some feedback from my people, how they feel about that. Provide my insight on the All Star game in its entirety. The dunk contest, you know what I'm saying, was it saved by McClung or I think that's just, let me make sure that's his damn name. I'm just giving his respect real quick, man. um, make sure, man. Yeah, Mac McClung. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to make sure I had his last name spelled right, man. Because I'm used to if you see McClung, I'm used to seeing like McClung, like you know what I'm saying, spelled a little different. But yeah, man. So we're gonna talk about you know what I'm saying. Did he say the dunk contest? You know what I'm saying. Russ being a Clipper. You know what I'm saying. We got some other news that go along with that joint, man. We got a whole lot on deck, so we're gonna run through it quick. Like I said, we ain't gonna be here for a long time, but we absolutely gonna be here for a good time. I can tell you that much, man. We're gonna definitely if you don't watch basketball, you're gonna end up walking out of here wanting to watch it. If you don't know nothing about it, you're gonna know a little bit after we done, man. We gonna touch on everything and you know what I'm saying, everything and all things, man. We gonna hit on them joints. We ain't gonna let nothing slide. We ain't gonna let nothing ride. We're gonna make sure we touch on every single thing we got, man. Um, you know what I mean? So and again, so funny situations of it, you know what I mean? This All Star game, not too many, not I would say not too many people providing feedback, positive feedback to it. I think a lot of people kind of overseeing, you know, what I'm saying these scores be this ridiculously high like that. You know what I mean? Like when you come to look at a game, any game, let alone an All Star game, you're expecting them to go out there and compete at the highest level. And what I mean by that is it's rare to have an opportunity where you have the best players across the league all on one, you know, what I'm saying on two teams and they given the opportunity to pretty much have an open rec or open, you know what I'm saying, open gym, but on a big stage. And a lot of people are getting frustrated with what they're seeing. You know what I mean? They're not, you know, happy about seeing, you know what I'm saying, players dropping, 50 points, 50 plus point, or, you know what I'm saying, being 184 to 175. You know what I mean? Now, the league is understanding that the direction the league is headed in is what? A high up tempo, high scoring basketball. Defense is one of those things that's the second thought at this point. Nobody really thinking about playing defense. That's not a vocal point. It's not a focus point anymore. Now it's all offense. You know what I'm saying? Push 100 miles an hour. I mean, pretty much this is what Steve Nash was raving about, or I'm sorry, not Steve Nash, but Mike D'Antoni when he had Steve Nash when it was the. I think one of my other brothers corrected me on it. They said the 10 seconds or less getting a shot up. You know what I mean? And that's what you're starting to see now, but across the league where it's literally you know what I mean? Everybody is their whole focus point now is scoring, scoring, scoring. Nobody wants to play defense. Nobody focuses on defense or anything like that. So yeah, like Tupac said, it's watered down. I have to agree because again, they're given the opportunity to do what? Go out there and compete at the highest level on the biggest stage, and pretty much getting an opportunity to play open gym on a big stage. You know what I mean? Open gym on a big stage. And what are they doing? They're going out there, definitely playing, but playing as if like, oh, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't say playing not to get hurt, because that's how you end up getting hurt. But a lot of them are out there just passing the time. You know what I mean? Like it's literally as if there is no effort whatsoever. And there used to be a point, you know what I'm saying, back in the Shaquille, you know what I'm saying, the Shaq days, Kobe, Iverson, Jordan, Pippen, all them guys, man, when they was playing, what was that, in the late 90s and things of that nature, or even in the 90s, what were you seeing? You were seeing competition. Even all the way up into the early 2000s when Kobe was still in that joint, and you still had the Tracy McGrady's, you know what I'm saying, even the younger Bron and things like that. What were you seeing? You were seeing them out there competing. You know what I mean? You wasn't just seeing players getting up and down the court, flashy dunks, this and that, and that be it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Josh Sanders pulling up in the building, man. Salute to you, TWT in the building, bro. Appreciate you sliding through this joint. Let me get you right real quick, man. Let me get you right real quick. Appreciate you. But yeah, you know what I mean. When we saw this, what were we seeing? We were absolutely seeing what we were seeing them out there competing. You know what I mean? Those games were driven off they understood the fact that you're out here to put on and and compete. Like they looked at it from a competitor standpoint. They were out there competing, looking to win. Yeah, there was a little bit of an incentive, but the incentive to them was more so the bragging rights. The same thing we're saying. We showed up and we beat y'all team. We showed up and did this to the West. We did this to the East. Now it's turned into it pretty much eliminates the East and West. And now it's Team Braun, Team Giannis kind of thing. And I know that they have an overall goal score to reach, which is why we're seeing these high scoring games now. But at the end of the day, man, I think it's more so people are starting to kind of be driven away from it. You know what I mean? Like they're starting to not really want to watch um, to watch it. You know what I mean? Because you're not seeing competition. Like the only thing you're seeing is some deep threes being pulled, couple crossovers, couple little what I'm saying, dunks here and there, get some oohs and ahs from the crowd, and that's pretty much it. You're not seeing anything else that's giving the crowd reason to jump, you know what I'm saying, to be like, oh man, I can't wait. You're gonna get to see this person, that person go head to head. You're gonna get to see this person D up this person and see how they respond to it. You're not getting to see none of that no more. You're not seeing no competition. Only competition you're seeing is who can shoot the deeper three, who got the, what I'm saying, who got more range, who can do this or do that. You're not seeing I can't wait to see this person go head to head with this person. I can't wait to see how this person gonna compete. You know what I mean? You're not seeing any of that. And I'll show y'all an example of this, man. When you look at I'm gonna remove myself from the stream of this joint so y'all can see this. What do y'all see right there staring in the middle of that screen of what they doing? You see Jordan. We already know what comes with him. We know what comes with MJ. You see Cole staring you down. He looking to compete. He not showing up to the game, looking to, what I'm saying, going and have a good time. He looking to go in there and win, whether it be MVP or win the game. That's his whole sole mission is those two things. And what did we see out of LeBron or what did we see out of Cole when he, what I'm saying, one of the last times he actually was playing in the All-Star game? What was he doing against Bron? He was D'ing him up and going. He blocked him twice, or he got a steal and then he got a block on him. He was D'ing him up because he looked at it. That was one of the last ditch efforts or opportunities where he could force him to play one on one or force him to go head to head with him. And when Bron didn't take the last game, the game winning shot, he said, "What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?" You know what I mean? And a lot of people sleep on the fact of how that was the competitive nature within Kobe, how he looked at it, how he wanted to get out there and get after it. Josh Sanders said there is only a handful of players that play offense and defense the same. That's a fact. There is. I would say, man, if I read off a few, to be honest with you, bro, it's probably gonna be Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Drew Holiday, Giannis Antetokounmpo, um, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum now, and Jalen Brown now. And that list kind of stops abruptly. Oh, and I'll even say John Morant because he D's up too. I remember he D'd up Kyrie as well. So it's a handful of players that definitely, what I'm saying, look to key in to lock in on the defensive end. Like they don't shy away from it. The rest of these players, man, they act like, you know what I mean? Like they act like if you play defense, you're gonna get your endorsements dropped. You're gonna lose fans. You gonna these kind of things gonna happen if they play a lick of defense. Not understanding the fact that that's what people actually want to see. At least my generation. I mean, I can appreciate seeing some solid, good defense versus seeing somebody, chucking up half court shots, fadeaway shots, and things like that. I can appreciate seeing somebody playing tough, hard nosed defense. I can appreciate somebody locking somebody up, and we getting to see that person put on a display or a clinic from that standpoint, or that side of the ball. I can appreciate that. You know what I mean? I think any true basketball fan can appreciate seeing somebody actually playing hard, tough nosed defense, and looking at the fact of like, okay, this is what we get out of this person. This is what we see. You know what I'm saying? This is the expectation of it, and that's what we're gonna do. I think any and all, any true NBA fans would appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like again, I think you would pick up more fans by doing that than again what you're seeing from when it's just all offensively driven, and a lot of that comes from them trying to do what they're trying to cater to the younger crowd. They're trying to cater to the younger, I would say, younger generation. The younger generation wants to see what highlights. They want to see, step threes. They want to see the Dame deep threes. They want to see the range, some highlight dunks and stuff like that. They don't want to see defense. They don't care for defense. They don't appreciate it. They don't understand defense like that. And Josh Allen said, "Yeah, I would appreciate them to make an effort on defensive." Yeah, that's a fact, bro. Like I said, that's why you got a lot of people. Ken Viper, appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you coming through. That's why you got a lot of people now, man. That's looking at these NBA All Star games and literally starting to shy away from them and not giving it any energy or viewership. I mean, how is it, you know what I mean? And this kind of almost segues into the dunk contest. I mean, it's been dead ever since, Zach Levine and Aaron Gordon was competing in it. And then, you know what I'm saying? What did you see happen? Mac McClung went out there and you had over 500, 500 million views of people tuning in for it. Why? Because it was something different. You got to see a small, and again, this is no, it's not racially driven or anything like that. You know what I mean? But we got to see a small white dude go out there and compete, and he came out there and efficiently put up some damn good dunks. You know what I mean? Like he didn't miss. He was very consistent. That's one of the key things as well. That's why he got the scores he got because he's consistent. And that's the main thing from any judging of a fact of dunks is that if you don't make it on your first try, you absolutely have to make it on your second try. Missing it, depending on the type of dunk that you're doing, it automatically almost costs you at least a point, if not two. But for you to go out there and make those kind of dunks on your very first attempt, I mean, that's why he got it. Like he did his thing, man. He did his thing, and so shouts out to him. And yeah, and a lot of people were saying, did he save it or did it? Ultimately, you have to say he did save it. Why is that? Because you had over half a billion people tune in to watch it. I mean, you look at the previous ratings of it, it's not even close to that. A lot of people were saying scrap the dunk contest altogether. You know what I mean? The same with the All Star game. A lot of people are still leaning towards scrapping that too, and they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to change it. They're gonna have to go. They're gonna have to test it out next year. My suggestion to them is test it out next year to do a classic All Star game. What do I mean by that? Shawala, I appreciate you sliding through this joint. Salute to you. What I mean by them going classic with it is I think what they should do is go old school East versus West and put something an incentive on the line of it. You know what I'm saying? Winner gets $1 million each, or each player of the team gets $1 million. Something along those lines. Something that makes these players want to go out there and play. One thing they will do is play for money and bragging rights. I mean, you can't not, and then again, no slight, no disrespect. You can't say, what I'm saying, it goes to a charitable event, anything like that. Put some money in their pockets. You're gonna have some players out there that probably will donate it to a charity, but put something out there to enough that's gonna make them want to go out there and compete and actually show, why they are considered the quote unquote all stars. Do something along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Give them a reason to compete. We all see when it comes to the playoffs, what are they competing for? Or in the regular season, they're competing to make a playoff seed. And then when we get to the playoffs, what are they competing for? To get to the NBA finals. When you get to the finals, what are you competing for? To win the chip. You know what I mean? There's an incentive there. There's a long-term, there's short-term and long-term goals there for them to do. So a lot of that is driven off of what? They need to focus and have something to trend towards, something that they're looking to get at. All-Star game, and they look at it, man, they looking to go out there, score 184 points, and get and understanding that they have a break or some vacation period or time away from doing their job. That's in reality, that's what it's turned into. And to the point, man, it's like how do people? And again, I'm one of those people. I can appreciate the game in its entirety, but at the same time, when I'm looking at this and I'm getting sick of seeing the lack of competitive nature in it, man, it's starting to piss me off from an NBA fan perspective of it, man. And that's just me being honest. I'm sure a lot of people out there feel that way because again, the ratings and the viewership reflects that. You know what I mean? A lot of people they understand again the league is heading towards catering to the younger generation of what they want to see. But at the end of the day, you got to understand that the NBA has been around longer than some of these people. You know, understand how basketball was created, understanding that they used to have, you know what I'm saying, a leather ball that was more so like a football that had the lacings in it, and not how today's ball. It wasn't the Wilson ball that you see, the Wilson Evolution ball that you see. It wasn't the Spalding normal little pigskin that you see. They had a ball back in the day that was laced up like a football. You know what I mean? It wasn't even fully round like that. You couldn't really dribble it. You know what I mean? It was damn near similar to pickleball, and a lot of people don't even know how that is. So it's like do the research and history of it, man. They got to understand you have to cater to your the full capacity of your crowd. You know what I mean? To your viewers. You can't sit here and cater a game strictly to a younger generation thinking that the older generation is going to follow suit. The older generation are the ones that's actually paying for the younger generation to watch it, whether it be via cable or some other kind of social media outlet of it. So you got to keep that in mind. So it's like they don't be understanding that, man. And that's the thing that they got to keep that in mind. They got to keep whoever's in them office making those decisions when it comes to this game. They got to keep that in mind. If they want their ratings to increase, they want people to tune in. They have to be able to evolve with it and understand it. Listen to you know what I'm saying. Listen to the consumer. And that's just my take on it, man. Again, that's I think the All Star game at this point is in jeopardy. They need to definitely switch it up. Team Giannis, Team Braun, that's cool and all if you're a fan of both. But at the end of the day, you gotta somehow implement a way for it to be competitive from a nature where you're gonna see some defense or you're gonna see some competition being played. Plain and simple, no other way around it, man. But that's my take on the All Star game. But like I said, I segued into the dunk contest. Is it back? You know what I'm saying? Did Mac McClung save it? And I would say to some degree, it's back to being viewed or being able to view it versus instead, obviously, like I said, Zach Levine and Aaron Gordon, as of recent years, when you think of the dunk contest, that comes to mind right away for everyone as far as being a memorable moment because you had two competitors going at it, man, where it was like one of those dunk contests, even now that you can turn on and tune into it, like, dang, you can appreciate it. And then you had that lull where it was just like, man, what the like yeah, we got to get rid of this. We got to scrap the dunk contest. We got to do something that's gonna make fans want to say, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, we're watching something that's good. And so again, he was able to single handedly bring that on, bring that back. Troy Murphy the third obviously went out there and competed as well, man. I enjoyed what I saw. I'll be the first to admit when someone asked me about the dunk contest, I had brothers that was betting money on it, and I told them, hey, put a line in or put a bet in and put McClung as a person winning it. I was like, make sure you do that. Trust me. But as far as like I said, Troy Murphy, you know what I'm saying, in that joint doing that, I did not expect that out of Troy Murphy. I didn't know he can get up like that. So he definitely shocked me. And I'm pretty sure he put a lot of people in the league on notice as well. If you're down there, you can be bodied. So you're gonna have some people being very hesitant now. Again, a lot of people just thought of him as a shooter. I didn't think of him as just a shooter, but I also did not know he can get up like that. So the young man showed me a thing or two, and again, I appreciate him going out there and competing. And definitely, again, he dropped his hat in the bucket to let everybody know, hey, I'm just not a shooter. If you're under that rim, I'm gonna put you in. I'm a body bag as well. I'm gonna put you in the rim. And again, it was more so just being efficient. What is being efficient mean? Making your dunk on the first attempt. And if you miss it, it got to be a dunk that's out of this world. You just got to make sure you make it on the second attempt in order for you to, you know what I'm saying, get close to getting that 50. It's rare to see a person miss dunks and not, you know what I'm saying, miss dunks and still get a 50. It's very rare to see that. Josh Sanders said this makes me appreciate guys like Jimmy Butler and Jalen Brown and Drew Holiday, the real two-way player. Yeah, and I actually had completely forgot about Jimmy Butler as well, man. Another two-way player that's efficient with it as well, man. He said they saying next year they want John Morant and Zion Williamson to challenge back in the next one. That'll be a good one. That would be a good one. The only reason being because they're two big names. Everybody knows them for being, you know, some creative dunkers and well, in game creative dunkers and things like that. And again, with big names will shoot. True Lions thing. The only thing is they would have an issue beating him more so. Why? Just because he looks like the average Joe. You know what I'm saying? Mac McClung looks like the average Joe. He literally looks like your Jimmy John. If you go into Jimmy John's, he looks like he probably would work at Jimmy John's or Pizza Hut or Domino's or something. He doesn't look like a person that's out there with a 40-inch plus vertical, you know what I'm saying, throwing down in between or reverse windmills, hezzy windmill dunks and stuff like that. He doesn't look like that type of person. And that's no slight of disrespect to him. It's just in reality of things, when you look at him, he doesn't look like that. He doesn't. If I was to see him, I wouldn't assume that. And again, I appreciate what he did because to me, he did it. He went in there and did exactly what he needed to do to win, and also obviously to get the viewership up as well. A lot of people didn't expect it, but I can bet you one thing: a lot of people appreciated it. As soon as that first dunk went down, you had people like, hold on. He caught the attention of a lot of people first dunk, and then after that, people were tuned in, people hitting people up. And again, he was already known for what his high school dunking. Like he was known as putting on a show either during games or in the dunk contest too. That's what he's known for. Pretty much being a professional dunker. You know what I mean? That's exactly what he's known for, being a professional dunker. So it's like when you see something like that, bro, and that was the expectation. Like I told a couple of my other brothers I knew that was betting on it. I told them right away, hey, put a line in that for him to win it as well. Trust me. But again, it would be very tough for John Morant and Zion Williamson to beat him just because they're going up against the grain when it comes to that perspective. He's shorter than both of them. He's unknown. So any dunk he does, he's gonna definitely. Well, he's not unknown, but now obviously he's gonna be much more known because he just won the dunk contest. But as far as like when they look at it, you know, what I'm saying John Morant and Zion named dwarfs Mac McClung's name. But so everybody's gonna root for what? They root for the underdog. That's a natural thing to do that people do. They root for the underdog. And so with him being out there, man, I think he'll be able to compete with them dunk for dunk. You know what I mean? It'll be a for sure the viewership will go through the roof if you had Zion and Ja in that joint against Mac McClung. It would be through the roof just because those two names alone. But are we going to see that? I would say I doubt it. Ja might do it, but Zion, I doubt it. The first things first for Zion, he has to get healthy. He has to be able to remain healthy. That's his key thing. I wouldn't even care about seeing him in the dunk contest. I would prefer to just see that young man healthy, healed, and able to play the game he loved, man. That first things first when it comes to that. You know what I mean? I'm not selfish enough to say I don't care. As long as he does it, that's what I want to see. Nah, absolutely not. I'm responsible with the content I'm dropping when it comes to that joint, man. I want to make sure each of these players is understood that they appreciate what they bring to the game, but their health is above all. You know what I mean? Like I want to see him healthy and I want to see him out there from that perspective. So that's first things first with Zion. Ja, it's up to Ja at that point, man. Like I know he was saying a few things about if he get a billion likes or something crazy, but I don't know if he was joking or serious about it or whatever. It wasn't worth kind of looking into that much into it. But when it comes to Ja, man, Ja absolutely could could make that decision and say, you know what, I'm gonna jump in the dunk contest and or I'll put my hat into the dunk contest and people are gonna tune in, especially if he does do it. People will tune in and they'll rock out with him. You know what I mean? They'll rock out with John whether he win or lose. The fact that he is a major name and he went out there and did it. When's the last time we've had a name where you know what I mean, it was like a big marquee player kind of thing, and that's no slight or disrespect to like Zach Levine or Aaron Gordon. But when's the last time? I mean, in all reality, when's the last time anybody in the chat? When's the last time you could think of a big marquee name that competed in the dunk competition that you can remember? That was like a big name, like one of the true all stars in the league. A lot of people probably gonna go back and say Jordan and Dominique. A lot of people probably gonna go back and say Kobe or you know what I'm saying, who else we got, man? Like Blake Griffin. Even at the time, Blake was considered what one of the little best players in the league. It was a coming out party to have the dunk contest. But it's like you can't really think of a dunk contest where you had the top tier players actually out there. I mean, even Dwight. You know what I mean? Dwight is was it say what you want to say about him, but his career wise, he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer, and he was a true All Star in this league at one point in time. So you can even throw Dwight in that mix as well. But like I said, man, the dunk contest, as far as like you having big marquee name and big marquee players out there, it doesn't happen, man, and it's well overdue for that to happen. Well overdue. well overdue. Like if they want to have an opportunity for the dunk contest to be more so the key featured event of the All Star Weekend again, they're gonna have to somehow again put something out there. They're gonna have to hang either dangle the bag or dangle a fruit that's gonna entice these players to do it. Jay Gibson, salute to you, man. Appreciate you stopping through this joint. TWT in the building. Let me get you right real quick, my brother, for pulling up. They they gonna have that's what they gonna have to do, man. They gonna have to figure a way to incentivize a marquee or a big name player that again can go out there again just for name's sake. You know what I mean? Bring that viewership to the actual to the contest, man. Otherwise, what are you gonna keep getting? You're gonna keep getting situations where people are gonna be, you know what I'm saying, bidding out altogether watching the All Star Weekend, but let alone the one marquee event that used to pretty much run it. You know what I mean? People look forward to what? They look forward to the dunk contest because they wanted to see what was going to happen, what could be done next. Obviously, and I forgot about Vince Carter being obviously one of the major all stars as well. When he you know what I'm saying shut that joint down. Forgot all about him. But and then it transitioned to 3 point contest. You know what I mean? People started, you know what I'm saying, raving about that more because what? You know what I'm saying? You had Steph out there, you had Clay, you had you know what I'm saying, Buddy Hill competing in that, but Dame Lillard obviously just winning it. So you had knockdown shooters that was competing in the 3 point contest, and then it started being situations where you're getting people out there in the 3 point contest that shouldn't be out there. You know what I mean? You could have brought me off my couch and had me compete, you know what I'm saying, compete for that person, and I would have been able to put up a better showing. You know what I mean? Um, and is yeah, it's um, yeah. I'm just at a loss of like trying to understand how is it that All Star Weekend, which used to be one of those things that people look forward to, now it's on the brink of pretty much being out. You know what I mean? And it still leaves me at a loss for words of it. I honestly don't know too much or what to say about it. It's more confusing than anything when you look at it and see the potential that they have, and yet they're swallowing it away doing certain things. I mean, at this point, I would say, let's say McClung didn't compete in the dunk contest, right? More than likely, Troy Murphy would have won that joint. So if Troy Murphy would have won that joint, you know what I'm saying? Not too many people would have been raving about it. They wouldn't have been talking about it. They wouldn't have got the viewership that it did. And you'd have people, you know what I'm saying, calling for them to scrap the NBA, the dunk contest. My thing is, I was going to say is that, let's say, for example, he did and the dunk contest was a bust again. You know what I'm saying? Put professional dunkers out there. It wouldn't hurt it at all. Why? Because you would actually get a true, you would have some people, that's what they do. That's what they're known for. You're gonna have them out there putting on some amazing dunks on a big stage, which could get them exposure potentially to, you know what I'm saying, either teams or certain situations that would get them exposure on the big stage, but you would allow everyone to be able to enjoy the show. You know what I mean? When you're out there seeing people doing dunks that you ain't never seen before, and it's names you never heard of, you're allowing them to get exposure. You know what I'm saying, on a big stage, and you're also, I would say, you probably would have a high. People would be tuning in to see it because they're like, "What the world? What do you mean professional dunkers?" That would pique people's curiosity. That would have people wondering like, "What do they mean professional dunkers?" And you'd have people tuning in just based off the strength of that. But then word of mouth, when you would have people reposting on social media and things like that, showing like the dunk this person just did, or the dunk, you know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, man, this person just did this crazy dunk. Man, social media is a tool that can be used. It can be weaponized in a good way and a bad way. You know what I mean? And the NBA could definitely weaponize social media to tap into the fact of the viewership and let people know like, hey, there's something going on that you've never seen. And one thing that's going to do is it's going to drive people like, oh, what's going on? Wait, let me turn to it. Let me see what's going on. And then the views gonna go through the roof. But again, man, like I said, they definitely better be right now thanking Mac McClung in a whole different way, as far as saving the dunk contest this year, bringing viewers back to it. Um, I would say almost being probably the highlight of All Star Weekend, to be honest with you, because again, the NBA All Star Game itself was lackluster as far as like you're not seeing much of anything. I mean, there's all kind of memes out there where you have, you know what I'm saying, for you have both teams having all nine or all eight guys on one side of the court and watching the other side where they're literally just kind of standing and talking, and it's in the middle of the game. You know what I mean? Like it's no competitive bone being displayed whatsoever by these players out there, man. And it's like, oh, you're not seeing too much. And then a lot of people gonna say they taking it easy because they don't want to get hurt. If that's the case, then what I'm saying, you might as well scrap the All Star game altogether. Hell, you have people raving and talking about the All Star celebrity or Rising Star celebrity game more so than they did about the NBA game, which is crazy. I mean, DK Metcalf out there, throwing down dunks and things and whatnot. That the shot that could have counted at the end of the game to tie the game up, but it was a second too late. You know what I'm saying? It was like there was some excitement surrounding the celebrity game. When's the last time you've been talked about the damn celebrity game? My brother DP Rock in the building. Salute to you, TWT in the house. Let me get you right real quick. Like, honestly, when's the last time y'all done heard anything about somebody talking about a damn celebrity game? Let's be honest here. When's the last time you talked about it? Nobody, man. Nobody talks about that. Nobody cares about it. But then why is it a conversation now? Because you had some stuff going on in the game that aroused, some curiosity of the fans. You had things happening in the game that caught the attention. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, when you look at the All Star game itself, very lackluster. Like, and I think they definitely gonna have to switch some things up. The same drafting situation is kind of it's getting to the point where I wouldn't say boring, but it's kind of we've seen it a time or two now. It's time to revamp things. Time to go back to the drawing board and make some changes. And like I said earlier, my thing is, man, go back to East and West, go back to the traditional old-fashioned way of it. Put some incentive out here to make these players want to compete instead of going out there and just staggering around, looking around, and thinking, oh, we'll be able to turn it up in the last minute. People are going to enjoy it then. It's like that's not the case, man. The way to rule to really reel in people is doing what? Putting it out there, showing that they are competing. Competition is everything. Why do you think people tune in a lot when it's the playoffs or it's the finals? Because they understand that you're going to be seeing players play at the highest level because there's something on the line. It's win or go home. You know what I mean? It's not a situation of oh, we can go out here and give half effort and I'm still gonna go, collect my millions of dollars and things like that. It's like, nah, man, go out here. You're in an all-star game. You have an opportunity to play with the best players, and you look left or right. You're playing with and against other all-star players. When do you get that other opportunity besides it being in the off season, where it's behind camera, off camera? When do you get the opportunity where you have refs, you have an opportunity to go out here and show, I shine the brightest amongst all the other stars. So that's my take on that joint, man. But yeah, that dunk contest, if McClung don't return next year and Ja don't do it, and you get again a bunch of names that ain't names that jump out at people as far as being like, big sellers and things of that nature, man, go to a format where you bring in the professional dunkers, whether it be I wouldn't have a professional dunkers versus the NBA players because that creates its own kind of that creates its own kind of little situation where you're gonna have some people in their feelings or you're gonna have some people feeling a certain way about it. So I would tell people, go look at it this way. Put the professional dunkers out there and let them put on the show. I guarantee you're gonna have a lot of people tuning in, just because the professional dunkers are gonna bring their own kind of crowd or viewership that they have or followings they have. Let alone you're gonna allow those people to get exposure, and also secondly, you're gonna do what? You're gonna have people seeing dunks that they've never seen before, and it's definitely gonna be one of those situations, man, where you're gonna have people walking away from it, looking at it, saying, dang, I did not know that people out there can do dunks like that. You know what I mean? It could inspire people, bro. Take a chance, take a risk. I guarantee you that it won't flop or it won't fail. Smooth shot for us. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you slapping through this joint. Appreciate you stopping through. But yeah, I would say going that route, man. I would if I was the commissioner or Adam Silver, I would seriously contemplate and look at that, man. I would if he's listening to this, Adam Silver. Trust me when I tell you this, give that some thought, give it some credence to look at it, man. When you look across YouTube and you look at what I'm saying, dunkers or dunkademics or whatever they call, if you look at the views of it, it is either tens to hundreds of thousands of views, if not in the millions of views. When those people have the opportunity, and I understand it's on YouTube, so there's a timestamp on how long it's been there for. But when you look at the situation of it, people are going to be seeing things that they've never seen, and it's going to allow people to do what? Have more exposure to it because they're going to say, oh, God, there's professional dunkers out there. And you never know what those dunkers' other skill sets may be because you're only seeing one facet of what they're doing. And that's just again my 2 cents on it, my way of being innovative with it and what they could do. Um, and that's just me, man. My brother Josh Henderson said, I just want to see a low scoring game based on defense. That's a fact. I want to see some competition. I mean, if you're able to still score on them and still put up high score, but you're seeing them out there competing, hey, that is a win-win. That's something that people can walk away from that game and see it and enjoy that, man. Real talk. Smooth Shot said players don't compete anymore. It was basically a 2 hour layup line. Shaking my head. I didn't even watch it live. Hey, it's not. I'll be honest with you, Smooth Shot. I didn't watch it live either. I just watched the highlights because I knew just watching. I think I watched like the first couple of minutes what they were doing, and I know typically that's kind of how the All Star games start. First couple of minutes are literally just I'm saying people trying to get. And I wouldn't say break a sweat, but just going out there going through the motions and not really giving it any kind of serious credence to or energy towards it. They kind of just go through the motion, and then so I tuned out, tuned back in. You know what I'm saying when they got more so towards like third quarter, so after halftime, just to see if the energy on the floor didn't change or anything like that. And I saw absolutely nothing. So I tuned out, tuned back in. Same situation, same thing I saw. And I was like, yeah, nah, man. Like, y'all done messed around and lost a fan in me on this type of situation, bro. It's like if I wanna see stuff like that, I'd rather go watch like a Pop Warner a Pop Warner league. You know what I mean? Where I'm watching little kids going and shooting the ball and just launching it, just running back for it, no defense being played, but they're gonna be giving you max effort because they're running like crazy, burning through energy. I'd rather go watch that. That has more entertainment to me because that you don't know what to expect. When you seeing them go out there and doing like half going through stuff like that, you know what to expect, man. You know what to expect. You're literally watching like you. My brother just said you're watching a layup line that ain't worth nothing. Smooth Shot said he said yeah I'm used to the All Star when AI got exactly being down 20 like this yeah exactly that's a fact, man. It is corny. I agree with that. Josh Ennis, I remember back in the day, the All Star games were the first half playing around, having a dunk contest, and the second half would start. Yeah, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I remember. I remember watching, what I'm saying, them games, and that's why I have on the back of my, what I'm saying, the backdrop there. Who do you have? You have three different generations of people, what I'm saying, that forced a competitive edge against one another. And what do I mean by that? You had Jordan that was competitive as all hell in every single facet of everything this man has ever done. And then what did that do? That trickled down to the person that came to try and take or came and took the throne from MJ by you can say mimicking his game and patterning his game after him, whatever you want to call it. But that competitive edge, I mean, that's in you. That's not on you, that's in you. And you got to see that a lot. When Kobe had the opportunity, what did he do against Jordan in the All Star game? What did he do against Jordan? He beat him up. He slid past when Jordan went for the pump fake. He set his body up and got for the block on that and was talking to him. You know what I mean? He was competing. He wasn't allowed. And again, who else was out there playing with him? Yeah, Allen Iverson, Jason Kidd, KG. You had a bunch of people out there that has what? That competitive drive, that competitive edge. I didn't put that backdrop by mistake. I did that on purpose. And then what did you see when you saw again the middle king transition into the newer king that people call and Bron? What did you see? He saw Kobe doing what? Going at LeBron. You know what I mean? Same thing Jordan. Jordan went at Kobe. Kobe went at Jordan. And then Kobe was going at Bron, and Bron was slightly but not fully going at Kobe, but Kobe was going full steam ahead at LeBron in those All-Star games. If you don't believe me, go back and look at it. You'll see it. You'll see exactly what I mean. D'ing him up, ripped him, beating him up again and blocking. And Kobe said it. Like, and then when Bron passed up on shooting the final shot, what the hell are you doing? He said, "What the hell are you doing? Why are you passing the ball?" Like you did. And again, they're two different players, absolutely. You know what I mean? The mentality between Bron and Kobe is night and day. It's like water and oil. You know what I mean? It's completely different. But at the end of the day, it was still kind of its own way of passing of the torch. And he wanted to make sure, like, letting them know, hey, the point of this game is you out here competing against what they consider, what they say is the best of the best in the league, which is why they are voted or brought in as all-star. And you got to understand that. You know what I mean? Now we are getting people out there literally passing out lemonade on the court. You know what I mean? Nobody's taking it serious. Nobody looks at it to even care whatsoever. Yeah, and yeah, Jay Gibson, the days of Kobe versus, I'm telling you, bro, because he never had the opportunity to match up with him in the finals. So Whenever Kobe had the opportunity for him and Bron to match up, whether it be regular season or All Star game, what did you see? He made it a point of emphasis to do what? To go out there and literally go at Bron, bro. That's what he did. And yeah, that's no slight of disrespect to Bron. I appreciate him like Bron, and I'm just not LeBron like biggest fan like that or anything like that. But I also appreciate what this man has done for the game and what he does on and off the court. It's just from a competitive standpoint, competitive nature of it, his competitive, I wouldn't say drive, his competitive jacket, since people like to put jackets on people, his competitive jacket it's just not the same as the same jacket that Kobe and Jordan wore. You know what I mean? He's still a competitor. Don't get me wrong. He still competes. Absolutely, he does. But the jacket just isn't the same. And Justin said, locked MJ up. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Smooth Shot said Kobe already exposed LeBron in the All Star. I forgot what year he clamped down Bron. Yeah, that was when he played for. I think that was when. Yeah, because he had D Wade on his team too. You know what I mean? And that's when KD and Kobe was on the same team. A lot of people don't remember that. As far as the All Star game, let me correct that. All Star game, KD and Kobe was on the same team because when he got that block, it went right. That went right out to who? It went out to KD for a fast break dunk. Yeah, yeah, smooth shot. That's a fact, bro. He was laughing, telling him like, just shoot. But what are you doing? And then Kyrie was talking. Yeah, he was talking trash to Kobe, and Kobe locked him up during the game. That's a fact. What was that? That was Team USA training camp, and young Kyrie was telling Kobe he Dustin 1-on-1, blah blah blah. Told him to put some money on it, and hey, he locked him up in the game. Thought he was going for that left to right crossover and things like that. Man, Kyrie he had him if he wouldn't have went for the pump fake. That's where he messed up because you gotta understand he's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", and Kobe is 6'5", 6'6", with long arms, and he understands like distance on defense. So it's like when he made his moves and he got to his spot, he should have just went up. He shouldn't have of hesitated and pump fake. When he pump faked, he gave away his leverage. That's the same way John Morant blocked Kyrie too, because he did what? He pump faked and gave away his leverage. And John, you know what I'm saying? He's probably a little taller than Kyrie, but obviously can jump much higher than Kyrie, and that's how he blocked him. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, man, YouTube and you'll see exactly what I mean. You'll see exactly what I'm referencing to. Yeah, smooth shot. He gave up his dribble too early. That's why I was like, he should have kept it. And that was one of the things he said in a different thing is that he made the mistake is that what he likes to do is keep his footwork. His footwork is the same as his shot. You know, so as long as it's in the ebb and flow, then more likely he gets himself the best chance to hit it. And if you look at Kyrie when he makes certain moves and things of that nature, his footwork is always on point where he can elevate and get a shot off. When he did that, he slowed down everything he was doing, the mechanics and everything, and that's why he ended up getting blocked. And again, that goes to Cole because Cole was right there for him to stop him, each and every way. It's hard when you're going to get somebody like Cole. You got to do almost the same thing that Iverson did to Jordan. When he gave Jordan that left to right crossover, he gave him a little bite, see if he'll bite on it, and he gave him the full package of it right into a you know what I'm saying, a pull up jumper. What a hard dribble shot. If you look at that, everybody know that's the iconic move from that point. I mean, that's basics 101. You know what I mean? When you go on when somebody is bigger than you guarding you and you have the quickness and the ball handling skills you have, you always take advantage of the misdirection, the crossover of it, and a hard dribble pull up. You never try to get to a point and then pivot or stop, pick up your dribble, and then try to fade on that person. You don't do it. Bro, Jay Gibbs said off topic that Kobe Minneapolis throwback jersey was all time favorite. Yeah, that's a lot of people like that joint, man. That baby blue joint, or even just in general. Yeah, that jersey go hard. I think that's probably one of the top sellers, to be honest with you. Josh Sanders said Kyrie couldn't score on Kobe like he did everyone else. That's a fact. But if you also look at it, they didn't match up too often either. That was just more so that game that you got to see. And like I said, I enjoyed it because Cole never cheats you. He never cheats you. When he out there, he gonna give you everything, his full effort. Because like he stated, and the same thing that's going around that Anthony Edwards and a couple other players is saying now, is just saying like what did Anthony Edwards say? He said all these guys sitting, resting, just play, man. I don't like all the sitting, missing games and stuff. He said these people might have enough money to come to one game, and that might be the game they came to, and you're sitting out. And that's a direct quote from Anthony Edwards. And then you know what I'm saying because he was quoting how the fact of giving those Kobe Bryant vibes of saying what coach said, you got a lot of people paying their hard-earned money to watch you perform. It's your job to be in shape. It's your job to perform at the level, at that level every single night. As a competitor, I'm not ducking. Let me repeat that last part. As a competitor, I'm not ducking. Come on, man. Like that's what separates the difference of people from a true competitive standpoint and a true competitive nature of what they do. Like I don't know how else to really say that. Like how the man carried himself. Yeah, y'all can say he carried himself like MJ, but what is MJ known as? One of, if not the GOAT. So if you carry yourself like that and you have success the exact same way, are you wrong? I mean, what can you say? Are you wrong? I would have to go and kind of lean towards no, because if someone lays out a blueprint to something, it's still up to you to go out there and execute it. It's still up to you to go out there and be able to build it. Like it ain't just because the blueprint's there doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be able to do it. Just to transfer over to a boxing standpoint, I would look at look at Floyd, man. A lot of people try to use the shoulder roll, but are they gonna be as successful as him? Absolutely not. Why? Because he was born in the shoulder roll. Like man came out the womb shoulder roll. Like it's different between when you naturally with something versus you being taught something. Because when you're being taught something, it's like you have to build it to be a muscle memory, but you also have to look for the situation of it. When you're born into it and it's natural, you do it just out of reflex. You do it as if it's something that's natural. You do it because it naturally happens. Like you do it because your body is already knowing what to do. You don't. It's not a thought. It's not a processing point in the head. You know what I mean? Russ Musha said, "Yeah, I remember that jersey from the NBA Live Classic. Yep, that blue jersey was hard, man. Absolutely, that jersey was hard. So it's like a lot of those things, man. People don't look at it that way. They don't appreciate what Cole did and what he brought to the game. They don't appreciate the competitive nature this man put out there for. And you know what's crazy is that the same way I'm saying that about Cole, you gonna have a lot of people saying the exact same thing about Brown when he leave the game. When he decides to retire from the game, what you gonna see? You gonna have people not appreciating what this man brought to the table. They're not gonna appreciate him until he's gone, but yet that he gotta be gone for them to show appreciation, which makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense. Because it's like it's okay to appreciate this man, give this man his flowers now, whether you think he's the GOAT or not the GOAT or the GOOT, which is again my word that I dub greatest of our time instead of greatest of all time. Because either way, both of them is narratives that can't be truly. I wouldn't say from a numbers perspective, because my brother BRTB, from a numbers perspective, is out there brutalizing people, beating their head past the white meat down to the bone marrow and their DNA with the with the beating them down with what I'm saying with the numbers of it. Because what I'm just saying is, as far as from an individual standpoint, you can't argue someone else's belief or stance on how they feel about a player. Why? Because it's their personal opinion. So if they say that's my GOAT, hey, only thing you can do is rock out and tell them, hey, I'm saying more power to you. That's your GOAT. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing you can say about that. You have to accept that. But if you bored and you really want to argue with somebody just for the sake of arguing, because you think, what I'm saying, your player to go over that person to go for it. For me, I'm not gonna do that. Just because it's their opinion. You're not gonna sway somebody else or change somebody else's opinion on what they believe their favorite players or what they believe their GOAT is. You're not gonna do it. There ain't one person out there that's ever said, you know what, after the conversation, I think LeBron's better than Jordan, or I think Jordan's better than LeBron. After talking to a LeBron fan or talking to a Jordan fan, you ain't gonna find one. You're not gonna find one that said they switched loyalties or they switched favorite players because they had a conversation with somebody. You're not gonna find it. I'd be hard pressed and shocked if you were able to find that somewhere of you saying that you found somebody that said they used to be this, but now they're this because they had a conversation with a player and they had a conversation with a fan and that fan swayed them to say that that's their player now. You're not gonna find that. I'd be shocked. Which again, I ain't gonna say segues, but hey, the other topic, man, that I wanted to touch on, man, was this what I'm saying, Russ being a Clipper. Russ being a Clipper. You know what I mean? I feel bad for Russ, but I'll say this: I feel bad and I'm happy for him at the exact same time. Yeah, because we all know that Russ from OKC years was what, obviously MVP caliber player, Mr. Triple Dub himself. And then what did he do? You know what I mean? The OKC situation kind of kind of splashed out. He went to, you know what I'm saying, he wanted to be a Houston Rocket. So he wanted to be a Houston Rocket. You know what I'm saying, him and the James Harden experiment didn't work out. He moved on to the, you know what I'm saying, to who? The Wizards. So he went to the Wizards, and then Bradley Beal. They, you know what I'm saying, they had a little bit of success. Things kind of worked out there a little bit, not to the success level that they wanted, but it still worked out. It wasn't terrible. I can tell you that much. And then he came to the Lakers. You know what I'm saying, my squad. I was one of the people that didn't like the trade originally because I said that from a standpoint of them being out there, it's not one of the things. I don't think it'll work just because you're having two players out there that need the ball in order for them to be effective, but you're having a player out there that more so still isn't able. I wouldn't say. I believe the chemistry between him and Brown, from a perspective of them being out there where they are, it wasn't going to work just because they're too alike. But yet one just make has a high basketball IQ, and the other just has low basketball IQ moments often. And that's no slight of disrespect to Russ. I just knew it wasn't going to work, and I said that when it first happened. But then Russ did what? He adapted his game and showed that, you know what I'm saying, he was willing to come off the bench. He was willing to be the captain of the second, or you know what I'm saying, captain of the second team, or come off the bench and literally. My thing is also said is I believe that Russ needed to see the direction and the pattern and the way the game was going for him to be most effective. And I said that in one of my lives I did is that with him being able to see the flow, the ebb and flow of the game, and be able to go out there and actually see what was needed or see what was missing or see the direct like how the game was flowing, that helped him out because it allowed him to be able to go out there and see areas that he can actually go out there and help the team. And so you got to see him do what he flourished in his backup role. He flourished coming off the bench because he got to see it. So that's why I think a lot of it he was successful, along with a lot of it being the fact that you know what I'm saying, he bought into the idea of doing what? He bought into the idea of actually coming off the bench and making a concession to say, hey, winning is my priority, winning is above everything. That's what I want. I'm willing to sacrifice and do whatever I need to do for my team to win. And so it helped to some degree, but again, the damage was already done because you know what I'm saying, old media did what? They painted the man as a villain, they painted him as a terrible player, they painted everything negative about him as they possibly could, and tried to almost blackball this man out the league to a degree of just saying, you know, he's selfish, he's this, he's that, but everything was more of in a negative light when it came to Russ, man. You got Mr. Walking Dead himself, Skip Bayless, saying, oh, you know what I'm saying, is the leader of the president of the Russ hate and the LeBron hate committee. Like, and I did a live, you know what I'm saying, ripping them apart too. I might have to do a part two on ripping them apart. So, but yeah, man, it was just one of those situations, and even now you still see it. The slander of this man and everything. It's like if you don't like this man, that's cool. You know what I mean? You can just say that and say it, but at the same time, you can't sit here and try to blacklist this man, blackball him out the league as if he still don't have a lot to offer to teams. You know what I mean? Like he still has a lot to offer to teams. He can definitely put some butts in the seats. Why? Because with Russ, one thing you're gonna get is you're gonna get max effort each and every night. No matter how long he plays, you're gonna get max effort every single play. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get the rock to baby. You're gonna get some monster dunks. You're gonna get the energy out of Russ. You're gonna get those things. Those are things you absolutely can count on that you're gonna see and get. And I think the Lakers, it was just more, and a lot of people say, oh, that was Bron's scapegoat, things of that nature. I mean, anybody that plays with Bron is a scapegoat, no matter who it is. People blaming AD, saying he always hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like AD standing for always damaged. You know what I mean? So it's like it doesn't matter who the player is. All of them are going to be scapegoats for Bron, and that's no slight to Bron. That's some disrespect to him. But the truth of the matter is that that's how people are going to view every other player, no matter what, no matter who he plays with, no matter what. That's gonna be the case 100% of the time, every single time when it comes to Bron when he plays with anybody. So I didn't call him the scapegoat for it. I just literally just thought, you know what I mean. It was just one of those situations that just wasn't gonna work out. So him going to the Clippers. Now again, It's a situation for him personally. He doesn't got to move nowhere. His family can stay right where they're at, going to the exact. There is no change outside of the fact that he's going to be wearing a different color uniform, playing for a different franchise. That's even though it's in the same building, a different franchise. Nothing different. So all that is perfect for him. To be honest with you, all of it's perfect. So again, you got as a point guard. I mean, this is the Clippers roster. Y'all hear me out on this. You got Russell Westbrook, Terrence Mann, Bones Highland, shooting guard Paul George, Aaron Gordon. Not sure who Boston Jr. is, but got him. Then obviously small for you got Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell. Yeah, it should be Norman Powell. I don't know why they have something. And then you got Coffee, and then you got for Powell forward. You got Morris, Batum. Don't know who Rocco is, so we'll go with that. We go for center, which I think you're going to see a lot of this two bigs playing at once sometimes. You got Zubac, Plumlee, and then I can't pronounce the last name. The other person, I'm not going to butcher it. But so you got Zubac and Plumlee. I think you're going to see a lot of them playing. You're going to see at times you're going to go big lineup and have both of them out there at the same time. But again, that's a solid roster, man. That is a solid roster. Because at any point in time, when you sub somebody out, you got somebody that can come in and do the exact same job as the other player, if not better, depending on the player. You know what I mean? So you're gonna see a new look that's gonna come from from the Clippers, and a lot of people are gonna be stunned by the productivity that this team is gonna be able to put out there. That's what you're gonna see, and I can't wait to see it personally. Absolutely can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see the new look Clippers and what they're gonna be able to do. Only thing is I'm hoping that they do, man, is they get themselves they own arena so then that way they can call it their own and not keep being called the basement brothers or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on Russ, man. I wish that young man nothing but the best. Appreciate what he did for my team and keep rocking out, man. Don't. I mean, obviously he not listening to the naysayers anyway, but at the same time, I know some of it eats away at him. But at the end of the day, man, I know that man gonna keep doing Russ like he always has been doing. He gonna continue to do it. But again, man, with the things that happen, all the changes across the league, I'm excited about the second half of the season. I can't wait to see it, man. I'm super excited to see who gonna pan out, who gonna make the playoffs, how deep they gonna go in the playoffs, how the teams mesh, the chemistry. D'Angelo Russell being with the Lakers, KD being with the Suns, Kevin Love recently, looking to sign with the Miami Heat. Obviously, Russ man with the Clippers. I mean, what was it? I know the Orlando Magic just waived R.J. Hampton. Will Barton, also again another 3-and-D type guy, high energy guy, reached a contract buyout with the Wizards, so he's available. Um, man. And then the other sad news part of it, and again, I call this from my other brother that hopefully is listening, Dub Rightside or anybody else that's listening, when they mentioned about the Trey Young and McMillan situation that took place with the Hawks. I said what? I said before they trade or even think about trading Trey Young, they get rid of their coach because the coach is the easiest scapegoat to get rid of. And any kind of coach, because there's plenty of coaches out there that can handle personalities or team that they can plot into it. You know what I mean? Plug them into the system and see what happens. And guess what happened? The Atlanta Hawks fired their head coach. I said, man, these players got more power than they have more power than they think. But at the same time of it, a lot of these coaches ain't as safe as people think as well. Like they not as nearly as safe. So as soon as they go left with any of these players, what does it set to do, man? It leads them to a situation where they definitely be put on the not chopping block of being traded, but the chopping block of being fired. And that's what happened. Yeah, Lonzo Ball being shut down for the season. Not sure what's going on there, man. Hoping that young man get better, but also at the same time, what exactly is going on? That's the part that's confusing. Hopefully it ain't nothing serious. Hopefully he'll be able to play the game again at some point. But yeah, it's crazy to think, you know what I mean, that he's just not able to play for whatever odd reason. Son of God, salute to you, man. Appreciate you stopping through this joint, man. Appreciate you stopping through. And then almost forgot about the Mikel, the haul that the Nets pulled in, man. Mikel Bridges and all them guys, what they doing up there, man, they competing, absolutely competing, man. So again, a lot of the things I'm super excited about the second half of the season. I can't wait, cannot wait to see, what I'm saying, everything that pans out, what happens. But again, we still have things going on, what I'm saying, during this All Star weekend about the situation of buyouts happening, official signings happening. Pat Bev declined an offer from the Warriors to sign with the Bulls. Most people don't know about that. Yeah, I think it's funny though. He going to the Bulls, and you know what I mean. Pat Bev brings his own type of energy to a team. It can be helpful and detrimental at the same time. All depends on the matchup in the night, man. Sonny guy said, "How does Russell Westbrook change things in LA?" Well, he changes it for the Clippers by offering them a what? And a very explosive point guard. As I was just saying earlier, man, I gave all the roster lineup to it for the point guard position of it. They got Westbrook, they got Terrence Mann, they got Bones Highland. Bones Highland is more of like a high energy guy that you have to have in spurts. He's not one of those people that can be out there playing extended minutes. Terrence Mann's been doing a good job, but at the same time, man, teams can key on him in ways where he can't really do the same thing Russ can do. Russ is like a mixture of Terrence Mann and Bones Highland, except for he's been doing it at a high level much longer than both of them have been in the league. So it's like that's more so the name. Also, you know what I'm saying? It's another big marquee name that you're bringing to the team. So that's gonna put butts in seats as well. So a lot of it ties in as to why they decided to pull the trigger and accept Russ into the Clipper fold. You know what I mean? Obviously, they without Paul George and Kawhi's blessing, it wouldn't have happened. Let's be honest here. I know a few years back, um, when Russ was asked about would he ever join the Clippers, and he said hell no. And that wasn't more so because of, what I'm saying, his decision. That was more so because, what I'm saying, Kawhi had kind of shut the door on allowing that to be the case. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's its own beast, man. And I mean, like I said, I'm super excited to see what's gonna happen and what they're gonna do. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be interesting to see how the second half of this league turns out, or the second half of the season. My bad, John. Second half of the season, how it turns out, because it's gonna be some people that's gonna either strive and they're gonna push. You're gonna see a major shift, or you're gonna, what I'm saying, you're gonna see some letdowns. People gonna start saying, "Oh, it's a bust," and stuff like that. It's like, dude, some of these players and some of these teams they went to, man, y'all gotta understand it takes time, and they coming into the second half where you coming down the stretch, some stretch of the season where that's when you start to really focus in on tightening up your rotation and things like that. So you're gonna see some definitely see some shifts, man. My brother D Free in the building, man. Salute to you. Appreciate you stopping through this joint. Let me get you right real quick. Salute to you, D Free. Appreciate you stopping through this joint, man. Yeah, I wasn't planning to be here this long. Probably not gonna be here that much longer too. Probably gonna shut it down here in a minute. Son of God said, "What if Westbrook wins the championship with the Clippers? Would this be a slap in the face to the Lakers who just traded him?" Um, Slap in the face, no. It would just be more so shout out to him, and I think, well, for me personally, it wouldn't be a slap in the face. I would say shout out to him and congratulations to him. I mean, it's well overdue. You can add that to the long list of things that man has accomplished in the league. So definitely something that I'm sure he'd be super excited about. But the Lakers, nah. Why wouldn't it be a slap in the Lakers' face? Because the Clippers, as of right now, I would say from perspective of things, they're healthier, playing better basketball or meaningful basketball. And so when you look across the board at it, I don't really see a clear cut favorite as far as like, oh, this team's better than the other, or the expectation is set as what? It's championship or bust when you're a Laker. For the Clippers, if they win a chip, you know what I'm saying, that'll be their first that they have. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't be a slap. It would be the fact that which one would be the bigger headline? Westbrook leaving, you know what I'm saying, Westbrook leaving the Lakers and goes and win a chip with the Clippers. It's like it's kind of either or. If he wins a chip with the Lakers, it's expected. If he wins a chip with the Clippers, it's like, hey, he went there, he contributed, and they won a chip. So I don't think it'll be a slap in the face, but obviously, old media would make it all about the fact that Russ got redemption by winning the chip, and the Lakers couldn't, or whatever the case is. Now, if the Clippers were to go through the Western Conference Finals, go through the Lakers for it, then and he like absolutely destroyed them, absolutely, you have to say it that way. You have to say it's a slap in the face because we all know, man. Russ already plays with I ain't even call it a chip on his shoulder. He plays with a bag on his shoulder. He plays with a bag of chips on his shoulder. But let him get the opportunity to go head to head with the Lakers in the Western Conference Final. Let that be the case. Watch the tenacity you're gonna see him play with. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be next level crazy, man. Like it's gonna be out of this world crazy. So the guy said, does this really help the Clippers with Westbrook at the point guard? I just can't see it. Your thoughts? It's hit or miss. It all depends on how he buys into the system what they have there. But like I said, it allows them to play at different paces, a different tempo of the game as well. Though they because let's just say for the sake of argument, they go with Paul George, they go with the Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi, Norman Powell, and Nicholas Batum, right? They go with a lineup like that. That's a five in out lineup where literally every single person on the court could shoot a three. So it allows for literally max one-on-one play that they could have. Or let's just say they take Batum out and throw in Mason Plumlee in there. You got a person that's a rim runner, rim defender, and a rebounder. You know what I'm saying? And he also can be a playmaker too with passing too. We've seen it. Playing with a bunch of people that can all shoot threes, all get to the rim, create their own shot, and throw the lob. So it's like it's going to allow them to kind of play at a whole different pace as far as whatever they want to do. Small ball, slow down, up tempo, whatever they want to do. I think it'll be helpful for them, but it all depends on them being healthy, and it depends on if how the system and how they buy in. Who's their offense going to be, generated around? Who's their offense going to be driven? Who's going to be the main person, the focal point of that? Because we know with the Lakers is going through LeBron or it's AD. It's one of the two. It wasn't going through Russ. It was going through one of those two. So what's the case going to be with the Clippers? Is it going to go through Kawhi or is it going to go through Paul George? Is it going to go through Russ? How are they going to do it? So we have to, wait and see. Definitely have to wait and see. Some guy said, "Will AD be traded after this season?" Nah, he won't be traded. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he may be up for being a free agent, or did he resign his max? I can't remember. But no, I don't think. I think the only way they trade AD is if he gets hurt one more time in this extended period of time. They may go ahead and move off of it because I think there's a good chance they still could land Kyrie. So I think that if AD gets hurt, he's out. I think they probably will move off of him and they'll go in a different direction, try to land another big, or they'll try to figure something else out. To be honest with you, that's if he gets hurt. So anything's possible, man. It all depends on who's available at the end of the year. What I'm saying? There's always a trade out there that somebody, is willing to make. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I stayed much longer than I thought I was gonna stay. I wanted to get on here quick, just cook on this again, the All Star situation, All Star game, the dunk contest, and being saved, and then Russ being a Clipper, and a couple of other things. Again, I saw as far as like some just updates for buyouts and firings and people being waived and stuff like that. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy to see, players just getting dropped or waived or coaches being fired and stuff like that. And so it's just like, man, you wish them well. Hope they have an opportunity. I know RJ Hampton should definitely get another opportunity from somebody, solid point guard, good size. He's just not given the opportunity to go out there and showcase his skills on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? See, Sonny God said most of these players are on a 1-year contract. How do the Lakers sign these players next year? I can only see trading AD to get cap space. Um, I'll say this: it's the purple and gold that kind of the mystique of being a Laker that lure people in. But I think a lot of that had to also do with people willing to sacrifice to come there. Understanding the bigger goal is what winning championships, but also what else do they get to do in La La Land? And they get exposure to a lot of different things. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, potential offense. Like you get access to all these big time big wigs that's there in different facets of being able to either grow your own brand or opportunities to create a brand. Like there's a lot that goes on in Los Angeles where a lot of people are sought out to go there, whether it be to play for the Clippers or the Lakers. And that's just they just want to be in LA. So then that way again you get an exposure to billionaires and things of that nature that could put them on to again, set themselves up for generational wealth and things of that nature. So a lot of people look at it in that kind of way, man. So that's a great question though. But I think that they made some trades to kind of set themselves up. So say for example, I'm saying there's no change next year, or no change as far as like picking up a Kyrie or anything like that, man. And they decide to pull the trigger and stay with D'Angelo Russell, Beasley. I think they're going to keep Vanderbilt either way, to be honest with you. And then you still have a Hachimaru and the rest of the squad, man. So you still have a solid roster that you can run it back with. The only thing you're going to do is allow them to be able to build chemistry and camaraderie as a team. You know what I mean? That's one thing you can do, but it all depends on how they look on the tail end of this second half of the season. They look terrible, they don't make the playoffs, or they get bounced in the first round, and they play bad and stuff like that. Oh yeah, you can better believe those changes are still not done. Definitely not done. You're gonna see some stuff happen. You're gonna see some stuff shake. Rob Pelinka and Jenny Buss is not a fan of first off missing playoffs. Secondly, having this big, this big salary cap, and then not getting any kind of results from it. Putting a product up there that's not bringing anything to it, man. You'll see some changes. I can tell you that much. But yeah, man, I know I definitely appreciate everybody coming through this joint, man. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I'm gonna get myself out the way. Again, I stayed on a little later than I thought I was gonna stay on. So again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all that stayed here to rock out with me, man. I do appreciate it. Again, I'm trying to be more consistent on it, man, whether it be during the midday or whatnot for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Make sure I tap in with the people, keep y'all updated, give my take on certain situations that's taking place. And yeah, man, we're gonna keep rocking out, man. Again, I appreciate y'all stopping through this joint and rocking with me on this, man. So yeah, y'all stay tuned. More to come. Make sure y'all get the notification set so y'all can get it. I'm gonna make sure I'm dropping. I'm gonna make sure that I'm dropping it saying, hey, I'm gonna be going live. I'm gonna try and give y'all at least, if not an 8 hour in advance notice, man. But sometimes it be last minute. So make sure y'all got the notifications turned on. So when I go live or I drop a video, y'all get them joints, man. But again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all that showed up and show love with me. And you know what I'm saying? We out here and on to the next one, man. Y'all be easy and stay safe out there.